Call to order Freedom Town special meeting for April 13th. At
6:05, that's right.
I agree, 6:05. Cindy, would you like to call roll, please?
Bracken.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Galinda.
Here.
All present.
Wonderful. Moving along the line, item 3. We have a guest to speak. Mr. Brown with Freedom Shrimp and Aquaculture. All right, moving right along, item number 4. Do we have a Harper sanitation contract?
Yes. They came Wednesday to see us all, but they got to talk to Dawn and I. And left the left the contract. Prices are the same, description the same, just changed the date and the year.
So they didn't go out?
No, everything stayed the same. Dawn and I told them about a couple of times some different things with their trucks and some loose trash. Loose. They said they'd check on that in their drivers, but I told them that otherwise they did a very good job for us and I thanked them. So I just need a motion to approve. They've already signed, so we would just need to sign and send it back to them.
Have we had any complaints or anything? Besides just trash?
Couple, but I think it's more they didn't get their trash out before the trash guy came by.
I think they thought trash day was on Thursday.
Yeah.
One of
So,
them.
Sorry.
but I think their only complaint about the poly carts and stuff is that they wish people would bag their trash instead of throwing loose trash in their bags, because when they go to dump it, it's gonna go everywhere. I mean, bags will fall in a lot neater than loose trash.
Yeah. It's understandable.
But other than that, nothing.
Maybe we need to put that on our bill. Maybe we put a footnote.
If he'll read it.
I don't know anybody knows that.
Yeah.
Please be
I don't
sure to
think they
bag all
care.
trash.
Either that or Dawn can make a little buck slip to put in all of them. I don't know.
But there's always gonna be some loose stuff. I don't know how many people just throw all their trash in the
Right.
poly cart, because I mean, we've got some of
Most
the
people,
stuff in our,
You would be surprised.
what comes out of the house is in the trash bag.
Unless you
And then
just
they dump
walk
the
by
trash
and
bag
throw
and
crap
take it
in.
back
Right,
inside.
I do.
Yeah, there's some of that.
Yeah, but not much. I would say we can't make
Some people
anybody
reuse
do
their
anything
liners,
unless we're gonna
just take
provide
their
them
trash can
bags.
and dump
Yeah.
it right in
If you
there.
wanted to, how would you reinforce it?
Exactly.
Yeah. But they
Far
said,
out
they
there.
just said that was like, with the loose trash being blown around, it's probably more due to people not putting stuff in bags than
Right,
that,
yeah.
so. maybe
Wednesdays and Thursdays, Bonnie goes around town and picks up trash.
that wasn't bagged.
True.
Well, can I get a motion to,
Approve.
yes.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Harper Sanitation.
I'll second that.
And the contract date, sorry, is April 1st to, it'd be March 31st. She dated it on the back page.
I was going to say.
Because I thought it was March 1st.
That's what she thought, but this back page says 1 year beginning April 1st. So I'm gonna have to change that because I wrote March 1st on it.
Only Shed needs to sign, right?
Yes, only Shad will need to sign. Okay, Smith made a motion, going to sign it to approve contract. Bracken?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Galinda?
Yes.
Motion passed.
On item number 5, has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes from last month's meeting?
If not, I do have them here.
Pardon?
If not, I do have them here.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Bragan,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Galindo.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Line item 6, does anybody have anything to discuss on POs?
I did not bring my copy, but I've already read it.
I have a copy here if anybody wants to review. Can you see
First, let's
He's got better eyes, he's got better eyes than I do.
yours? Here's a copy of everybody.
It's all a show, he's using Zoom.
I
Yeah.
just say their
Same.
other
This
teams.
says the other day.
Look at
And nothing changed. I'll make sure nothing changed.
I'm a lot younger than you guys, so.
With me changing it.
I know it don't look like it.
I
I don't look like
had
it.
about 20 minutes to get the date.
I
I
actually
should
have
have changed.
glasses and
I have the meeting.
Usually mine is not right.
No right.
Years.
To be honest, I don't know what I had. They just said I needed glasses. I wore them for a few years, and next thing you know, I didn't need them.
Wish I had
Me too.
I had to have surgery and not change glasses.
I was gonna say the same thing happened to me. Called LASIK.
It's possible.
I haven't had no surgery, so I don't
My
mind.
mom was wearing glasses since she was 3 years old. She got cataracts removed from her eyes. She didn't need her glasses anymore. But it was strange when she was talking to you because the eye would twinkle because it was showing the pitch on the eyeball and it would actually twinkle and I couldn't look at her. Twinkling, Mom.
My mother has that. I had that done on one eye, so if you catch it just right, one eye is kind of glowing at you,
Yeah.
and the other one isn't, so it's.
Did they have an implant?
No, it was just they kept the cataracts on and reshaped the eyeball and
It's
it
like a
was
little
twinkle.
film, I think is what made
Well,
mom.
So I would have had it invoiced them,
Yeah.
or this is a reimbursement too.
Well, they had
I
it
didn't
too.
realize
I
they
was
have
down
rates
there
for
when
the
they came
glasses
in.
that I ordered. My eyes hadn't changed for 10
Okay,
years.
cash?
No, we don't need
What?
fire department nursing at the store. Tim's class.
It was a debit card purchase. It was deli.
Okay.
They fed them.
Yeah. She usually, if she has any class, she feeds them. One way to get firefighters there.
Yeah.
I still didn't notice.
Free food and you didn't make it, Rolando.
No conflict there, is there, in a
Just
town less than
abstain.
5,000?
Just abstain when they vote, and that'll really make it safe.
Yeah, and abstain means no anyway, so.
So we 2 to 1, and that way, it looks like you weren't self-serving.
Okay. Well, is anybody ready to make a motion?
I will make a motion that we approve the purchase orders for the fire, general, and ambulance funds.
I'll second that.
I'll abstain.
Well, you can abstain from the PO for the store from the fire department, and you can approve all others.
I approve all other POs other than the PO for the store. I will abstain from approving that one.
Okay.
See the little halo around you.
I know, it's glowing, I got to put my sunglasses on.
So Bracken is a
You gonna use
yes.
this as an instructional video?
Um, all right, Smith,
Yes.
Galindo,
Yes.
Motion passed.
Line item number 7. We need to discuss or take action on payment agreement with Mrs. Thompson on past due balances to be paid over a 12-month period.
The Town of Freedom is notifying customer Brad and Teresa Thompson of an agreement that has been approved. The Town of Freedom will leave utility services on at 873 Saddlehorns as long as the agreement that you will pay $103.20 for 12 months towards your outstanding balance owed plus the monthly bill. If you do not pay this by the 15th of each month, utility services will be disconnected immediately. If you are in agreement with the above proposal, please sign this letter and return to the town office. We've enclosed a copy for her records. We have her signature here that she agrees to the proposal to make payment, and I believe she has been making
She
it.
does.
Yes.
I make a motion to approve that agreement.
I'll second that.
Move
Bracken?
on to line
Hey,
item.
I gotta have a vote. Bracken?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Galindo?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Moving right along, line item number 8. Our favorite, or one of our favorite subjects, discussion and action on 2018 REAP grant siren proposals.
Yes. Let me grab my folder. Last month, we accepted the contract and further looking. When we made the first grant application, we had the security cameras and these storm sirens as one project. Well, OE's REAP saw it as 2 projects. Well, I asked if they wanted me to split it and resubmit. They said no, they would take care of it. When they did that, they funded us for the wrong siren proposal. They didn't do the math, just tracked out the 2 projects to pick the proper one, which I had starred and circled the proposal that we wanted in the information that I sent to them. So I emailed them, asked if we could get the funding for the remainder, which is about $3,500. They said no, their books were closed, that they would still honor the proposal for the lesser siren, which does not include the backup, and I think that's what the difference is.
Even though we returned almost that amount of money exactly.
Yes.
Government agencies.
So, I just need to know that we want to go ahead and proceed with this project and pay out of our pocket the $3,500, or do we want to go with the other siren, the proposal without the backup? I just want to know which one to let the company know, to let Bonnie know which one to start the project with.
Definitely the one with the battery backup.
Yeah, we have to have that.
So, what I need to know
That's
is, let me write my notes first.
Okay. And while you're writing your notes, I will inform the board that REAP did a good job of giving us money. They did a less than stellar job of communicating why we got less than what we picked, and it was because there were a lot of projects that didn't even get any funding this year because the funding had been cut so steeply, and they highly suggested that we get the siren that has the battery backup, but they didn't want to fund the additional money for the battery backup. So
Did you
the
go out?
decision was made, I guess, when they were doing the choosing. But then when it came down to us, it made it look like they were awarding for a different proposal. That's the way it was explained when I called them.
So we ended up basically giving Alita about 7,000 grand because we gave them back money, plus they didn't fund an additional. But we'll take what we can get.
Just helping somebody else out.
Yeah. So we'll just have to figure out a way to maybe come up with that.
On a brighter note, the new scoring system put in by the state, who seems to be supervising and consolidating a great many things in the state, including the REAP program. Even though we were told what our subject was, the point system works a little bit differently. Good news is, going into next year, I think we've got a pretty solid grant application if we go after our fire plugs. Because it's safety and infrastructure. And we need to really update that, if nothing else, for our insurance ratings. Because I don't know what the largest pipe we have is going to our fire hydrants, but I'd be surprised if it's at the max.
What did that map say?
Yeah.
6 inch? 8?
It varies, I think it's 6 inches of lead.
But we have how many that don't operate?
Well, all the black ones, all the ones painted black are out of service. There's not that many of them.
They're mostly right here on the highway, aren't they?
Yeah, and then there's one over on Tumbleweed, or on that corner of Tumbleweed and Wagonville.
But I think we come closer to maybe getting some real money that would help us with that. Maybe a truckload out with our well down at the airport or something. Because we've got a really good well down there, but I don't know. We can discuss that later on. But yeah, basically, kind of had to fit with the REAP people, but then the director of it kind of explained that pretty lucky to get anything in comparison to some towns. So we're thankful for that, guys.
Okay, so for that, the additional $3,450, what fund would you want that to come out of? The RV park? We have a savings account, and we do have CDs. We have a CD that actually is in maturement right now. It's $5,700 that we could take from that and set aside for when that comes due, and leave the remainder of the CD in CD form. I just need to know in order to notify the bank within 10 days. So you
Any
have a couple of
suggestions or
options.
remarks from the board?
What do you suggest as the bookkeeper? I mean, what is your recommendation?
I would say I would rather leave cash flow available, and it's a one-time project. We haven't touched the CDs since I've been here. We used one as collateral on a loan one time, I know, but this is a smaller one. I think if we cashed out what we need and left the rest of it in the investment, because it just rolls back. Our CDs, the interest either rolls back into them or it goes into the general fund for cash purposes if we needed to help on the bills, which I think the most it's ever been. It's been like $30 interest for the year.
How soon would we actually need to, you're saying we need to go ahead and get the funds?
If the
immediately?
CD, we would need to cash out what we need immediately, so that way it's not locked and we're not charged penalty or interest. So, and I would suggest just moving that over into the savings until we pay out, and then, because we're gonna get 19.5 from REAP, and the total of the other proposed siren was $22,950. And I don't know for sure how much, if there'll be any extra little costs for hooking it up to electricity, how it's gonna be hooked up besides that backup. And there might be smaller costs incurred. And that I would recommend, like the RV park, where we get our well water and miscellaneous revenue from the reuse center, and that comes in.
So you would need to pay it out of savings and then replenish savings when that CD is able to be.
No, I would
Wow.
cash out the portion, the $34,000, not $34,000, $3,450 from the CD that is mature
So you
right
have-
now.
It's mature, okay.
It's mature right now. It matured on the 11th. We have 10 days to cash out, leave it alone, whatever we're gonna do. And I just suggest cashing out the $3,450, leaving the remainder in the CD form so that it would stay as an investment.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
say, and until we pay it out, I would just move it to the savings account. and
It's
that's
not gonna
help.
be much interest difference
No.
whatsoever, about maybe, what, 2%,
Maybe
maybe point something else.
0.12%.
Yeah, there's not much difference right now, so.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Get a motion on that?
Yes.
so do you need a motion to approve the siren project with battery backup with the remainder of what is not matched by the REAP grant to come out of our maturing CD?
That is an excellent motion.
Okay.
I second it. You want to obey that, Gary?
He's pretty smart.
Please.
He's listening, that's good. His wife's got him training him.
Okay, Bracken made the motion, and Smith second.
You know, John Adams and Benjamin Franklin sat through a great many sessions of sleep.
Okay, vote, Bracken,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Galindo.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Moving right along, line item number 9. Discussion and action on welcome signs, or on signs for Welcome to Freedom and other signs needed around town, i.e. directional aids.
This is the approximately what they're looking at, and overall cost, she said, for everything right now is about $270. We're not looking at substantial amount of money. So it's pretty cheap. And that's with District 8. And that just gives us an idea of what's out there, and we can,
How much
we
did
can
you
get
say?
them over
270?
about $270. The only thing that I think that we need to really look at is maybe putting something on, is that Highway 9?
Greer.
Yeah, Greer. We need something coming into town from that way. It says Welcome to Freedom or something. All that's there right now is a speed limit sign that's about half gone. So I noticed that and I was like, okay, that doesn't look good.
I would call Alden morning, but I haven't brought anything, told me anything,
What was, about what?
so, about stone.
If we wanted anything
About stone.
in stone, or, I mean, on Highway 50, if we wanted something, not tombstone-ish, but
So if we do
They
that,
haven't got back to
probably,
me.
they haven't got back to you. That'd be the only thing, is we've got a Welcome to Freedom sign on there. And I did
But all
ask
we
them
have
to
is
do
the
that one for
So
Missouri.
these are
Better,
actually,
Yeah.
fallen.
are these
Since
double
I
sided?
have the old
Yes,
Western
as far as I
peel
know,
here.
yes.
Mhm.
So how do you
So-
attach them then?
I think the sign's like, the cavern's got the
Oh,
same
maybe
glass
they're
on
not.
both
It'd be
sides.
just like what's at the one
No.
down here that says.
Have you ever
RV
noticed
Park.
that?
There, she said they're
Sign
just
that
like
hangs out
that.
on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Those
got
are
that-
all new
The
for
one
all
down
those
here
state
that-
parks. This
Yeah,
last
them
year.
are
On the
sandblasted
south side.
signs.
I'll have to
Some
go
of
look.
those would
Believe it
be
or not,
installed
I
with
do
fiber
use signs.
bar,
I haven't in years.
so they need
I
some
think
kind of.
They're not that
system.
expensive. I mean, if you can find somebody that's a good artist, you know, you can put
I
anything you
have her
want on
phone
there.
number and call her.
Blast it out and paint it. It's really great.
Make sure Carrie knows.
Oh, yeah, it is on the,
I
it
don't
is on
think
the proof she sent
District
me,
8
yeah.
does that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think they're just
All metal.
mostly metal and
Direction.
reflective.
I'd prefer that, not get out, but we were gonna surprise her with that. So. You know, their prices are, I was surprised. They'd be a lot more than that. And I did ask her about doing the Welcome to Freedom bigger.
Mhm.
And she said, she's got the proof made for this size, but she can't, they
I've
can
already
be
seen,
bigger.
yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's
we
6
probably do,
inches, maybe it's like
because
35.
I've already seen Colin Pierce up there.
This
She didn't say.
should be larger than this,
Mhm.
Okay.
so however they need.
The reason I didn't
to
bring
do
it
Yeah,
up
that,
she
if
said
that's to
that-
make
Don't
that
see anybody
18
using
instead
it.
of 24.
18.
And,
Yeah. Probably could do that.
They're.
That might be easier, because she said
Yeah.
that other size that I was wanting to
I
go
think
up on
when we
Welcome to Freedom
do
was a special. order.
Playground stuff, we're gonna put it up
Do it.
there, so I don't know if we wanna.
I think if we do any, if we wanna keep them,
Mhm.
I suggest taking the backboards down. I mean, they shouldn't even be there by rights. I mean, you're supposed to bounce off something and make a ringer, you know what I mean? It was just so they didn't have to chase them across the yard, probably.
Can you make them work for the points?
Yeah. Exactly.
So.
But I can get some, when I get the proofs, I can.
We could take the backboards down.
Send
It'd
those
be a
over
lot
to you.
easier to
Send
maintain
that to
over there
everybody.
than it is now. As it is now, the backboards need to be replaced anyway. if we
Before
wanna
we
keep
do the final order.
Well, if you take those off, you might paint the
Yeah, proofread.
rocks
Yeah.
a visible
Well,
color.
dig it
Go under
out
and
and
check.
then put all new sand in.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
wanna keep
Yeah.
them going.
I'm just saying with a round rusty rock there, somebody not paying attention.
But I've done it.
No.
They're easy to work with.
Yeah, I've done it.
Nice.
All I see is that we need to make sure that they are double sided, that they can be put up with new fiber spar. And then that they be state approved.
Yeah.
Are these for the signs like down here where the co-op's at?
The directional signs, so there'll be welcome to freedom for southbound, welcome to freedom northbound, and then there will be directional aids.
Got an idea on your banners, since those are really cheap prices. And
These
metal
signs.
banners.
Yeah, that's what I do.
She's got her banner set
Yeah,
up.
I know, but that is like the 9x48. Gee, for me, you probably not spending $20 each or something.
Yeah,
And
that's-
they last forever.
I had been sending her ideas, I said, you know, this, and then I thought, well, what day did I do that? Wednesday?
Don't put that.
Thursday,
No.
yeah. Not the Carrie one.
Oh,
Very
okay,
top one.
Oh, okay, no, my racing.
But, I was surprised, I thought, oh, I better get a ballpark.
That's a
Dollar
remarkable
amount.
price.
On the Welcome to Freedom one, you were saying stuff on both sides, on the back side of that already, say come back soon.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Probably
They
two
don't
separate
know.
signs.
Oh.
People still look back nowadays.
That's a cute idea. It really is. She said on the back of the Welcome to Freedom to put, come back soon.
If you're making them, I mean, like I said, both sides have something on them.
We can ask him
We'll
that.
come back here.
Y'all come back.
Spell thanks in reverse, upside down. In there.
So we can see it.
No! And then when they're headed out, they'll see it. When they're headed in,
Y'all
they'll
come
see
back
it.
now.
I know what
When
you
they
mean,
when they're
Cindy.
coming in, they're gonna see welcome on this side. When they leave,
Yeah.
y'all come back.
Good idea.
I'll just ask her for an idea and then get you guys' side.
Traded.
I like his
Oh.
pen.
Well,
I just
I
said
think you liked my pencil.
how'd you get it to write?
She won't be using it now.
It's kind of spotty there.
Yeah, it's like a quill pen or something.
So do you want, what do we need to do on that? I hate to wait another month to, it's not that big a deal, cost-wise.
I make a motion to approve. So long as it's stayed approved and that they're double-sided. Just, I mean, maybe some small logistical stuff, even if that price has to be doubled to make the directional signs work, I think that's still,
And before the final order, I'll send it to Dawn and she'll send it out to everybody and if there's any adjustments that need to be made.
okay.
I just need a second.
I'll second that.
Is there more to, there's more to that one, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And, yeah.
Bracken.
Sounds exciting out there, doesn't it?
It had, yeah,
Yes.
there's, whatever it was. And I think it was the years, I don't remember, I think they had the dates, so. Yes, okay, sorry.
Motion passed to use district 8. As long as they're staying approved and double sided.
Did we ever order a fire sign
For
for where they need to draw water from?
No, because we really need to talk to Pebbles or someone that knows the hydrants and why I want them to draw from a certain hydrants instead of the ones they have been. As it is now, I just can't pin her down. I guess she peeked her head in Wednesday, seeing that nobody was here, so. And then I seen her at the store, but I didn't bring it up there. But I really need to get an idea of what kind of pressures the hydrants on the north side of town and on the west side of town are, if it will be good enough to draw water from there for the fire vehicles. As it is now, you know, the best place is right there at the park. You can draw fast there, but I'm sure there's another hydrant over in this area that is just as good. The reason I even do that, of course, you know, because in case you haven't noticed lately, we've had kind of been a fire season here, and I just don't want them draining our tank in case we need that water, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason I even bring it up. I guess they've drawn water off of it on this last fire down by Moreland. The only reason I can tell is because the tank was drained again.
Yeah, they're filling up on that one that's on Hughes's property. That big one, the one between.
I guess, I don't even know where.
No, I know
it
it.
is
Pulling off
exactly.
of that tall skinny one.
It was headed our way out, that's all I know. But I guess it ran into the wheat field and they brought it under control.
Yeah, we just wanna make sure the fire department has everything they need, because that's
Yeah.
critical right now.
Do they draw off of the rodeo grounds?
I don't know about that.
Seems like you could fill a truck 0 time flat out of there, cause it's more of a tipple setup.
Years ago they used to, but that was years ago when I first got on the fire department. If you guys would go out there and fill up, but not much anymore. Honestly, I haven't heard of anybody filling up out there.
That keeps the gates open.
I don't know.
That may be one good reason.
I really
They're
don't.
open tonight, but that doesn't,
Yeah,
that doesn't mean
they're
they're
open
always
at night.
open. I say they're not, there's sometimes they're open and sometimes they're not. And it just depends the day you drive by and the time you drive by.
Basically, there's still no plan. It's just until I can talk to the fire chief and stuff, it just, there's no plan yet. They'll
Okay,
just keep drawing off the tower, that's fine, because they do whatever you have to do to get your water, you know, but I just like to get them to draw from over here instead of over here. But, like I said, they gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
so we need to schedule, I'm talking out of turn, we need to go to line item number 10, probably into department reports, into the maintenance department report.
I'm up first, huh? All right.
So Stuart, about the fire hydrants, since we're in maintenance department, last time I think we met, we talked about scheduling something. I don't know if that was the maintenance department or the town office, but I think we need to get together the EMA director for Woods County and our fire chief and discuss fire hydrants and draw points and evacuation procedures or any kind of emergency procedures, because I don't know if we have anything on books.
I'm pretty sure we don't. I mean,
So, is that something you could schedule? Or there could be either a regular open meeting with all the board members or
Only one
just
of you
one
could be-
board member?
Only one of you could be here. But it's really gonna, I mean, I don't know if the full board would need to be here for that meeting due to the fact that it's gonna all depend upon the infrastructure of the hydrants and their recommendations of what we do anyway, and then have Stuart and the board member bring it back to the board at the next, we could schedule a special meeting after that point in time to discuss it with the board.
does the fire department have a meeting like
Every
we
month.
have?
Every month, first Wednesday of every month.
Wednesday before our normal,
Or is it the second?
ours is the second, and yeah, theirs is the week before the
Do you
first.
have people come in and talk or ask questions or anything?
Well, yeah, pretty soon they're gonna be starting training, so, yeah.
He's not,
But
I don't
they
think
can
we're gonna
work
be able
it
to
in.
schedule anything right away.
So if I just
No,
came in, I would,
I
it would
was
be out of
hoping when
line.
I wrote that up there
Just let Pebbles know
months ago.
that you're gonna come in and talk about that, cause that would be a good time, cause Pebbles knows that stuff, but
I need
also
instructions.
the old guys,
Just read something
Kevin,
and say, I have no
Dawn's
idea
husband,
what that
she
is.
is,
but-
Kevin
Yeah.
has done it for so many years, he knows a lot about it too, so.
When did you say they're meeting for?
First Wednesday of every month,
I didn't know.
about 5,
No, I didn't.
5:30, depending what time of the year.
I'll leave you a list.
Instruction.
Do you want to set up a meeting, since there's one of us, I mean, I'm not.
What's that, Vice Mayor? You want what?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to just set up a meeting with the EMA and the fire department?
That would be good.
And then Stuart's gonna go with the next fire, the first of May.
They don't have food there.
I know.
We don't have food
Maybe you'll
here.
bring some.
You'll have to help them change oil.
That might be the best.
Or
way to
check
get
wall.
pebbles.
But
Check
yeah,
all.
check the pebbles first before you just show
Yeah.
kids they are starting training and they'll be sitting in a class.
Oh, really?
Well, if you call it sitting in a class.
Well, this probably be a good thing for training, you know, this, our part of it as far as our water supply goes. And, you know, they can come up with ideas of what hydrants they can draw from where they're easy access, you know.
I'm writing
Okay.
it out, my pen starts piddling out.
All right, anyway. Okay, as far as the street signs go, I only have 2 street signs to put up and a handful of stop signs to replace. One is Cowboy Lane, which I thought I had, but they made me up one. I had
Still
Boot
wooden.
Hill instead. I do,
That's my side street, which is can basically go away. Because well, there used to be a trailer house behind my house.
yeah,
But then we bought everything, so there's no residents in.
but it is
back
still
there.
a street though.
North.
But I would, my
We got a sign.
the question was, do you want me to put a sign up there?
No,
Okay.
because it'd be in my yard.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
I don't want to mow around it.
Okay, yeah, okay. Scratch that
I
one
don't
out.
even.
I didn't realize that was a street.
Yeah,
I thought
it
it was
Yeah.
an
It
alleyway.
is, I mean, it's on the map even.
Yeah, because their garage actually went with the house, the trailer house that was behind.
Baker.
Mhm.
Conklin.
What if I petition to have that street open?
Put the sign on the other side. I don't care. It's on your side. It's on your easement then.
Okay.
I will petition.
Stuart, do you have, as far as speed limit signs, where do those come from? There's the
They're the
state.
states, yeah.
So we just need to get some.
The only speed limit signs we have are around the school. That's all we're responsible for. I guess, that's right? I mean, or do we post them or?
The only speed
County.
limit sign we have is
School.
Eagle Pass.
Because I don't know if we should get a sign that says all streets, like, I think Moreland has a sign that says like all streets are 25 unless otherwise noted.
Or
Right.
posted or
Posted
something.
or something like
Yeah.
that. We might get one of those to post in the entrance of, or like 3, the entrance of all of Freedom.
Right behind the welcome signs.
Yeah.
So all streets.
Then we'll have to put no Jake breaks prohibited and the Masons welcome you. And
It's just a suggestion. You don't have to do it.
Speed limit is what?
then I'll get pulled over for
25
grabbing
unless
27 all the
otherwise
time.
posted or something like that.
School zones either is anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour.
Yeah, I think ours is like 15. And it states 7:30 to 4:30.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I've sprayed the park, around the jail, the ball diamond. Now, this is what I sprayed, and the reason I bring it up is, and I sprayed the airport runway. Hopefully we won't have to mow the runway this year. But my question is about the spraying. Do we want to hire, because it's supposed to be done again in June. Do we want to hire out, like the guys around here that spray everybody's lawns? If Damien Starks charges $150 per acre. I don't know how many acres we have, but I gotta guess I probably had maybe 15, maybe 20 acres at most combined, everything. But, so that's something to think about. Do we want to hire it out, or do you want me to just keep mixing and spraying? I've bought dye. I did it kind of right this time. I bought some dye, and I mixed my own concoction, and it worked rather well. I'm seeing results now. They're pretty good results. I haven't checked the airport, but what do you think?
Sounds kind of expensive. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just.
it is.
Well,
But
Yeah.
That's up to you guys.
I mean, a normal town lot is 1/16 of an acre.
I pay
Did-
$85, $90 to have my yard sprayed.
Ours is 150.
As far as ball diamond goes, I'm counting the ditch all the way around past the diamond where it turns there. So, you know, yeah, it is kind of expensive, but
Has he measured any of it? Like give him a quote?
no, I asked him to, but he didn't sound like he really wanted to, so I got pretty much.
Well, I guess if he
figured
didn't
out.
want to quote it, we can just pay him kind of how many acres we think there is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Because I wouldn't estimate the park to be more than 2.5 acres.
Are you taking in the water tower acreage too?
That's still.
But I don't know that. We don't have a measuring wheel, do we?
Next door they should.
The reason I ask is
Remember
because
how to measure your hectares?
I don't know if I'm getting enough on these weeds and stuff. At least with these guys, they know how much to put on for theirs. And I'm mostly worried about the park and the area around the water tower, especially that area in the water tower, because that is a bed of sandburrs, the whole thing is. And I don't know if I'm putting on enough or if I did it the wrong time of year. If we did probably hire it out to spraying it all, I would recommend just doing the park and that area up through there so we can keep control of the sandburrs anyway. Maybe, hopefully. But that's, you know, it's gonna be done in June. Either it's made or it's hired out, so we've got time to think about it, you know.
I think we need to measure it and get an exact acreage
Yeah.
because the park is looking better than it's ever looked. I'd like to keep on that in the ball field if there's something that a professional sprayer could put on there that would give us a jump on getting rid of sandburrs.
Well, the years I've been mowing over there, the majority of the sandburrs are in the diamond itself. Everything out, away from it's not bad at all, but it's right there at the diamond, at second base, third base, you're maybe 30 feet out from each base is where the concentration of burrs are. So we would probably have to spray the whole thing. We could probably just spray the diamond and maybe control them that way. I don't know.
Or we can just talk to Shelley Oliphant. I forgot the website, but there's a website you can go on to. It's an aerial view. It has a little measuring thing. That's how they do the NRCS programs. And it'll give you the exact acreage.
Really?
Yeah. It's like a little Paint Shop Pro looking program, but it's actual
Grids.
grids and sections, and so I just don't remember the website, but yeah, NRCS uses that, and it's actually pretty, well, that's what they base all their programs off of. Just need to know the legals.
I'm all for chemical weed control. I mean,
You have to have it around here.
you're talking about public spaces and they need to be as good as we can make them or they're not really worth having,
Well,
so.
have the kids started playing softball, baseball,
No,
t-ball?
not yet.
Not yet. When did they start, do you know?
It's usually,
June, usually.
yeah. While we're on the ball field, all of the fencing on the southeast corner of the diamond, all of the 4-foot posts are rusted off at ground level. You know, if you drive down there, you see a lot of them leaning over. Well, if you go to straighten them up, they're gonna snap right off. So all of that fence either needs to be repaired or taken out.
Do we just need the post, or do we need to chain the fence too?
No, the chain's still in good shape. It's the posts that are all broken off. So you can either remove them all or replace them and re-stretch the wire. I don't know why they, because all of the rest of it's, 12 foot tall. And that little area right there is only 4 foot. But they've had it, the posts are all had it. So you want to fix them or do you want to take it out?
Is it on the east part, isn't half of the fence gone anyway?
Yeah, there's a big old blank spot in there.
I would say take it out until we
I
see what
pulled
we're
all
gonna
that out
do
my
with
first
it.
year. 'cause it
How do
was
you
all-
know when you're not?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was you
Goes
took
all
some
the way
out
to
of
next
it.
Pulled
year's
it all
house.
out.
It's
yeah.
out.
If that's half gone, I don't
If
see
it crosses the
what-
street, it's out. Home run. Hands up.
Yeah.
If it rolls across, you get double. If it goes over it, it's a home run.
I say take it out. There was really only one kid when I played on it that could hit that far, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was long
Thank you,
ago.
that was.
Huh?
Who was that?
And nobody from Freedom.
Oh.
I just know because I played against him. He was from Winoka.
Oh, gosh.
Every time he went up there, smack, it always hit the houses.
I would take it out too. I'd save the fence, if we could roll that up and
Yeah,
save
save
it.
the chain link, but yeah,
Yeah.
half of it's already out on that east part. I mean,
Mhm.
what do you guys think?
Until we
It's gonna be-
redesign it. Redo and get the full fence that we need and everything else.
We hate to start putting posts in if we need to put up a taller fence.
Because I
Well,
can tell you right
the
now.
blank spot is where I tore, the stuff had completely laid down in the grass and the grass had grown over it.
Well, that
So,
side used to swamp over too.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
so,
Because anymore, your entire outfield has to be, 20 feet? Your fence has to be 20 feet tall all the way from corner to corner.
Wow.
Your sides, your foul lines don't have to be, but your outfield has to be.
And a third of it wouldn't even.
So what's our choices if you build a ball field in the 70s and it has short fence? You
just-
come in and replace it with 20.
You just, the ones I've seen that I've visited the last 2 years, they're 2-tiered fences. You can tell where they started, and then they built up another 12-foot fence and added chain link or netting or tin to it. Anymore, a lot of them, if they're road facing or house facing on the other side, it's tin, so that way it doesn't.
got their windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So you want me to take it out then, is that it? Take out what's there?
it's not usable. I'd take it out until we know what we're gonna do.
If it was still up there, would we take it out for any reason?
Well, if the rules you gotta have it that, on the outfield that high, that would be the reason we would have to take it out anyway, a third of it.
Pardon?
I said, if what she's saying is correct, that most fields have to have that on the outfield, a third of it, and I think that east part was just 4 foot tall too.
Yeah.
So more than half wouldn't have even been complying with the rules.
Unless you
If
just
we
wanna
went
make
on the
it,
ballpark rules. that's
yes,
what
if you want it full, like 12 and under baseball, I mean, if you just want it T-ball machine pitch, I don't think you'd have to have all of that, but
I mean, it's pretty well the T-ballers and little kids out there playing.
yeah.
I
Unless
mean,
you
if
wanna-
the school was to start up a baseball program or something like that, I can see, let's pull out all the stops. But I guess people work so hard to put everything in at that time. It seems like we should keep it up best we can, even if it's not 20 foot tall. I don't have any issue repairing the fence. I mean, I guess in my mind, taking it all out looks like it was half built to begin with.
Usually I have to stand up and get the heck of a cramp in my leg.
but there's two other board members.
And
How long a stretch is it actually, feet-wise? I mean, how long
Oh,
are you
it's-
talking?
well, now it's probably maybe 40 feet.
So how many
You know,
posts?
Altogether, it's probably about 110 feet, because this corner here, all that needs to come out. So
So,
I don't have an accurate measurement, I'm just
yeah,
guessing.
just a guess. And the posts are like, what, 4 foot apart, or how far apart are they?
I think they're 8 foot apart.
8 foot. So, maybe how many? 1.
And everything's there, all the caps, the, you know, the stringers, I think that's what they call them. And the rods are all there, and they're not damaged. It's just the posts that are gone. They're all
Those
rotted
posts
away.
aren't that expensive. It's that thin galvanized steel.
Is it something you have to dig a hole for? Or
Oh, yeah, you're gonna
Can you
have
just
to.
pound? Do we have a post hole digger? Does
You're
that-
looking at it, give us a report.
You're looking at it.
Well, I just wondered, when you mentioned next door, I wondered if they had something like that we could rent.
They don't have a auger to dig with. But there's a lot of farmers around here that have those post hole diggers, PTO driven.
Mhm.
If the little tractor can handle it, make it easier to do that job.
Mhm.
It's no big deal if I had to do it by hand. I mean,
It is sand.
I
Well, we
think
might
the
be able to
posts
get the
are
county.
total
I bet they
6
count
foot
it.
long, and you've got to bury 2 feet.
In lieu of an employee.
The problem when you take it out, are they cemented in?
Gym membership.
I think
County
they're,
employees.
I think they are. I think that's why they're rusted
Oh,
off.
so
around
it's
it.
possible.
But I didn't really check it.
I didn't know we were going.
I pushed
down
on
that
one and it
program.
broke off in my hand, so.
If they're cemented in and you're able to pull those out, you may not have to dig much of a hole.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna bring the concrete with them.
Well, I say we do, I think Shad's got a great idea, just go ahead and repair them, and if we have to have county come ask them if they would come dig them for you, then I'd ask them to do it.
Okay, I'll try to
I'd
hurry
rather
this
be
along.
driving the tractor than the shove. Trouble.
Okay, have you given any more consideration to a new mower? Is there anything going on about that? Any discussion about actually getting one? And paying for it?
What was the John Deere model that you mentioned last time? Do you remember?
Right there.
But did it have the
The other,
picture in the back?
We have a picture, the John Deere was just a readout. With the 14 bushel dunk. And the two different prices on two different mowers. One was 8,000, one was 7,000.
and that dump was extra, right? But it wasn't,
Yeah, it was
It's
extra.
down there, extra.
It's on there. The Hustler can't put a dump on their mowers.
it's just a catcher type thing.
Yeah, but you don't have to mess with them. You just back up to something and hit a lever and it just dumps your clippings. Whereas if you gotta have a bag, you've got, you
Mm-hmm.
lift them out and shake them out.
That's not fun.
And the sticker bill, that's not much fun.
Did they give you, it'd be nice if they would give you, this detail thing again. Be nice if there was a model number.
Shad is in the model number and the serial numbers, just,
Well, the model number is right next to the name of the tractor.
sorry.
There is
I wasn't
no
gonna
model
say
number
anything.
for the backer.
Oh, for the bag.
Any bagger?
Right.
It's just
No,
what it
that's the mower
fits.
that fits.
Yeah.
But it's a commercial backup bagger where you lift the back and it dumps it out?
Yeah,
Or it's
automated.
individual bags you have to pull?
No, this is
From the
the dump
seats.
one.
From the seat, where will we back, what cliff or buffalo jump are we gonna back the mower up to be able to dump clippings? Cause I'm guessing it would, you'd be doing a lot of dumping like on the farm.
Well, I thought about that, and then I would just back up onto our 18-foot trailer and dump it. And haul it to the landfill or to the dump. Get it out of here. And out there I could spread it, actually. I wouldn't have to dump it in a pile, I could spread it.
Spread the stickers out to grow more.
Yeah.
Don't go that dump down there. It's all over your tire.
That's the new defense mechanism.
Don't
It's
go
a
kidding.
man-made
Yeah.
defense mechanism.
There
It's
you go.
stickers. Then you'll be mowing the.
I was gonna break in the dump, but I was afraid I'd track stickers all over my yard when I came back.
Well, it's for another day.
I say get the best mower, the best zero turn radius mower you can get from John Deere. And get the best bagger that they have. Because anything less is gonna be almost homeowner grade, and I think you would have more trouble in maintenance and longevity and everything.
Are we getting a loan or how are we funding this project?
That was my question.
I'm in government, I don't know.
Consider
We
looking
can't,
at
we
the
can't
fence.
vote to get it unless we have the funding. We found that out in our training.
Yes, as your treasurer.
Does the, do the people at the Capitol know what you're talking about?
Do
If it's to fund education, no.
Yeah,
I suggest, like we had done in the past, is we loan against our CDs because it's gonna give you a much lower interest rate. It's usually, I know in the past, it's been like 2%, 2% over
2%
your
above.
CD rate.
Which is probably like 0.75 or 0.95
Yeah, it's
right now.
not much.
But we're already taking 3450 out of one CD.
We
We
have,
won't.
we have
Another
four
one
or
we
five,
can-
we have 3 or 4. I know one of them's 10,000+. I mean, we have. I would have to get with the bank and see where we're at on them, maturity wise and value wise. But that is my recommendation. In order to keep all other funding available, it would lock those CDs in until the tractor's paid off, or the lawnmower, sorry. Lawnmower's paid off, but I don't foresee a need to cash those out in the next 3 years.
And I know we could
I
get
think
a
the last
loan
time we did like a
against the
3-year
CD.
loan, the last time we did the lawnmower on one.
But what would the payments come out of? What fund?
It would be the general fund.
The general fund?
Do we have an account with them? I know that
With,
with John Deere,
Western equipment?
yeah,
You should.
because I remember
Something like
buying,
tractor came from?
purchasing something,
that's where the tractor came from.
and they asked me to put it on a bill, and I said I didn't know we had one. I didn't have to pay for it, but I can't remember where I got from.
Because that's where the first tractor came from too, the other John Deere.
So do you want to just have Stuart get some, we need to
Get a
have some
Final
actual.
quote of what you want,
This is what I want, is this tractor.
and then I will look at CDs.
Okay,
does it have a cup holder?
this bumper here.
Does it have a place for a sprayer? Where you could
It's
just
this
spray it?
model.
We could spray our own.
He wrote in here.
We
He's
have
got
one
one
in
this
the
model.
trailer.
And this,
Okay, so those two. Okay,
the,
what's the, is
zone two,
that a different?
Oh,
mower?
yeah, it was
Don't want
the
that one?
suspension seat, which I think it's Cadillac ride, I don't need that.
That's what he said when I went to get him a
Another-
smartphone, he said he wanted a
About
flip
another
phone.
$600.
Get the suspension seat, because it's
$600.
cheaper than paying for the chiropractor. And it has higher resale value when you go to bid it off.
So we,
And if the mayor has to use it when it's on vacation, he wants a suspension seat.
Okay.
so would we be looking at keeping the one we've got?
Thought that was the plan.
I
I
did.
mean, it still
I mean,
runs
it's-
great, right?
Yeah, it's still up east.
To use it like to mow.
Like the airport. And
How long have
places
we
like that.
had the current mower? 6 years?
Probably.
And wasn't it used?
No,
Wasn't it was new?
We got the skid mower. Last fall I took it in and they changed all the oil and tweaked on the hydrostatic stuff and put new blades on it, changed the oil, changed all the filters, so it's ready to go. I've already used it once at the park, so. But that's the thing, it throws stuff everywhere. I mean, the bagger will be real nice for the park and sticker control, I think.
So does Hustler offer a bagger system?
3-bag system,
Manual.
not a self-dumping one. These are kind of like they look like tortoise shell, is what they look like, and they're hard plastic versus the netting that you get with regular bag stuff. So, you know, if you run into a bunch of stickers, you don't even have to touch it, you know. And it cleans itself out pretty well.
That's the
It's
bagger
like-
system I have, is the handful of stickers and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
not
I
fun,
want
is
to
it?
know.
till I threw the whole thing in the trash.
So you want me to order that?
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Let me see my funding
Okay.
options and we'll probably, I'm gone all next week, so it'll be the week of the 23rd. I will check options and
Okay.
possibly schedule another meeting just to give you that.
Okay, at the rate we're going, it'll be a little while before we have to mow anything, I suspect.
Yeah.
Unless they thaw
Wow.
out.
It's so dry, so dry. Okay, just a couple other things. Oh, I wanted everybody to know that all the tools, most all the tools have been removed from here and put over at the barn for easier inventory, basically, and easier access to them. I've built shelves over there. Got looking pretty good over there. So you walk back there and say, where is everything? Well, walk over the barn. And let's see. I think that's about it. Oh, remember I gave you information about that confined space gas detector? Did you ever look at that video? And for the gas detector and most of the fittings that you actually need to for gas detection around meters, because it is a confined space device, but it can be used for outside around, you know, trying to locate gas leaks. And the device itself was $950, if I remember correctly. And I think all of the bells and whistles brought it up to about $1,500. The attachment seems to be more expensive than that. This is with all the bells and whistles. It's just that we have to have some kind of gas monitor. It's just, there's no two ways about it. And this is the one with all the bells and whistles.
Was that monitor suggested by,
Well, the guy who comes down around does the leak surveys, he's the one who even told me about RKI, you know, because they use, or they have used the detection monitors. I mean, but they've got the regular gas sniffers. I mean, they can find a gas leak in the middle of the yard with that, you know, with what they have. But this isn't that sophisticated. We don't really need it. We'd like to have, I mean, where I can take a whole sample, you know, that would be nice to
What
have.
price range are those, do you know?
There you're getting into 10, 8, 9, 10. But I could call Doug and get some more information about the equipment that they use, if you want me to. He came up, he was just up here the other day, and he was leak surveying the business area, and he came across a substantial leak at the school, which wasn't on our side. It was in the flower bed again, but he did the whole sample, and it was running 50% gas mixture, and so that was way past the explosive range, and it had been obviously leaking into the classroom. Well, he couldn't really do anything. That wasn't even his job to find that thing, but he stayed quite a while and really helped us out. Had the superintendent and the principal involved, told him what's going on, and we shut, I think we got it, we shut one valve off, and Doug came back later and took more samples, and it was dropped off substantially, so I think we isolated that leak. But like I said, that wasn't his job. He didn't have to do that, so.
And he was using one of these monitors?
No, he has
Normally the 8 or 10,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do we use right now?
we have a confined space monitor that I don't know how to use, and everybody that I've talked to don't know how to use. And yeah, if there's something wrong with it, I guess you told me that it was bought used. It goes into an alarm system. As soon as it goes through its cycle, it goes into an alarm system, and you can't get it out of the alarm system. So there's something wrong with it. It's just not worth messing with anymore. Even Mike Bales looked at it, and Doug looked at it, and I think Harmon looked at it. And I don't know. What is this thing? Where'd you get this thing? It was here when I came.
So basically you don't have anything
I
that
don't have
works?
anything that works.
You're just smelling gas? Just sniffing it out?
I take it.
Oh, boy.
I guess my feeling on it is that we're a gas utility. And there's some income that the town gets off of our gas utility. And we need to be diligent about keeping people safe as a gas utility. So I think something that allows you to do what he did up at the school would be a good investment. The liability and people's lives aren't worth poor boying something like a gas monitor, so I guess whatever those guys that come out and do that testing think would be the best for you to have is probably what we need to go with, because that's an awesome monitor, and it's great for right there at that meter, but like you said, that soil sampling and being able to know definitively that you have something isolated is invaluable to me.
Well, it was up, we took another hole, and it was right up against the foundation, and it was running at a steady 15%. But that's what was leaching into that classroom.
So whether it's on our side or their side,
It was
it'd be
their
nice
side.
to detect,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go from there, you know.
Right.
Then
At
it's-
least like that, with that thing, we'll be able to know if it's our side or their side too.
Yeah.
Save a lot of the headache with how we do it in the past.
because to go along with what Shad said, like I learned at my training, rates for the utilities that we provide are not governed by the state, they're governed by the local municipality, because you have to be able to not only maintain the price for the product, but maintain the infrastructure for which you provide that product. So your rates have to include maintenance, getting the
Equipment.
meters information, equipment, meters, all of that has to be taken into consideration in rates. And we have not, luckily, had to increase rates for 6 years. I think 2012 was the last time, and we decreased rates at that point in time.
Mhm.
So we do have, like I say, not much built in, but we do have that little bit built in for maintenance to keep the
People
system
safe.
safe.
Yeah.
So we can,
We have the funding for,
so is this something we also have to have a special meeting under order?
no, you can tell them to order it now. You just have to approve the PO when it comes through. I would get the PO first, and then we'll
Yeah.
get the quote first. Like I said, for the new one. Like I
Right.
said, not this one. And then, like I said, if we have a special meeting, I can put that quote on the agenda, and it can be looked at before the next regular meeting for a PO approval.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to say this on the record, but in this case,
There's no option.
to some extent,
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right, you're right.
Especially with a leak at a
Does-
substantial public place like that, that needs to be, they
Oh,
need
yeah.
to know so they can make that
Good
structure
thing
safe.
you Came that day.
If that, is that something that comes, I mean, have you used one like that before, or would you need like,
No, I'd have to train,
Instruction
I'd have
or-
to train myself with instructions, you know.
yeah?
But if we go with something that they use, I'll have to get training, actual hands-on training from somebody on it, because they're kind of sophisticated in calibrations and stuff like that. It's probably easy, but. you know,
maybe there's a special class in Las Vegas we can
There you go.
Everyone in the office needs to know that. In case something should happen to Stuart, we all need to have backup.
Yep. Okay, the last thing I want to do, and this is the end of mine, is I want to talk briefly about the dump. Okay, and I know this is our favorite subject at every meeting. I think,
Born in my side.
now you might disagree with me, but I think we should open the brush pile and only for deadfall and hazardous brush near your homes. I've got limbs out there at the park that I've got to get out there, but I wanted to set an example that it's closed and I'm not even dumping there. But I've got to get in there and I've got to dump stuff. So
But if it's by appointment only, then you know
Right.
what's.
They're
the
taking-
only thing I don't want people bringing in is live cuts. You know, you will go and you trim out or taking out a tree or something,
Right.
as long as they don't haul in live cuts. And that way people can start clearing whatever might be hazardous in this horrible fire season we got this year, and including myself, you know. So,
And that's, you brought up a good point. I got asked about the signs for the, around town that we put up that said the dump's closed. We need
Just
to
says
maybe
brush.
add, yeah, we
That's all it
maybe need
says.
to add that it's because of the
Because
the
of the burn
burn,
ban.
right, rather than it's just closed.
It
I
just
think we
says-
need
It
to
just
add,
says the brush pile is closed. It doesn't
Right.
say the dump is
But
closed.
they don't read it all, they stop at dump.
yeah.
yeah, they do.
They do.
They
Then
stop, they
should
stop.
learn to read.
I think we need to add something about the fire hazard. I don't know how you want to put that, but I have been asked. I bet.
I get the
5 or
feeling
6
Dawn
times.
doesn't want to put that.
I know. Everybody's like, why is it closed? Is it closed indefinitely? No, there's a burn ban.
And
So,
it says until further notice.
until further notice.
You have to be able to have an 8-year-old be able to come in here and,
Well, I bet an 8-year-old could.
they probably would.
It's the adults.
They're
It's
high.
the adults that are
You're right.
too big a hurry.
Like I said, they'll stop at whatever point they wanna stop at, they're not gonna read the entire notice.
And if you don't want it called a town dump, you need to give me another title.
Well, that's what, well,
Recycle site.
it's actually a transfer station if you want to think in technical terms, because
I'm transferring
guys,
something.
the steel guys, they come in and they collect all that crap, and all of the roll-off is transferred to the landfill, so it's basically a transfer station.
I need to talk to you about that stuff. Because I'm gonna give you a number for you to call.
And that's it for me.
The county has a grinder or a
Chipper.
chipper.
They do, or you're asking?
No, they do, that they'd be willing to let us use, but I think it'll take up to maybe 12 inch,
Oh, really?
but it's obviously a hand-fed operation, and we would probably want to blow it into a dumpster
Yeah. so-
to get it, or roll off, I mean, to get it out of here, so you don't have the world's largest gerbil bedding pad or something.
Spontaneous combustion pile.
It would be a bigger mess than
Well, to have some
a
quality, you'd be surprised how some people might buy that off. They just
Might come in with their bags and
It's-
bag it up.
compost. People turn that into compost.
That would make the landfill happy to see it chipped. They probably get pretty angry with the stuff that's hauled out to their landfill from here. I know I would be. But,
And maybe the county would be able to have a place for us to put the chips.
In case you have gerbils.
You have to find that. Remember that one guy?
Pig petting or? is that-
We cleared out
I
a
don't
bunch
know,
of
the
cedar
school
trees
has
and this
that,
guy showed
hot
up
house
to
up
take
there.
the cedar trees.
We're
I
gonna
don't
take
know what
those.
kind of wood it is, you don't know what kind of
No.
seeds are in it.
Yeah.
As like,
I don't know what
You
they
don't know
use.
what's
I
gonna
have
leach
no
into
idea.
the soil
well, if you
either.
use
Unless
cedar, like in
they,
your flower
unless
bed,
they
you
used
use
it
cedar
for the, some of
chips,
the pig.
it actually
Yeah.
wards off certain
They put the-
Well, it wasn't just,
critters.
it wasn't just cedar. We cleared out
insects.
the whole pasture of
Dump it
just
out.
But
cedars, a bunch of other
that's only
trees.
one of the viable
And he
options.
took it
that
all,
I
he
know
checked it
of.
all, and he
Now,
said he
if
was
you use
selling it to
county's
old
chip,
people.
I don't know.
I have no idea if
So
it
Bonnie's been looking
I
at
don't
the
think it would be used for either.
I never asked.
County, that's good, the county's got one.
The other
So
option
do you
is
agree
for the
that
county
I
to
should-
talk to DEP,
I think by
they got
appointment.
chipper
That's fine.
farm.
that way you know what's going
So
down
one,
there.
we
and
can
you
get our
can-
own chipper, or two, if they had some kind of
You know,
resolution.
it's like behind
as
your,
I can see
behind
the town of
our
Chandler and
house,
Perry and
in your house,
Shawnee
that alleyway
not being
there,
allowed to burn
you know,
tree
it's growing up
limbs.
again.
Somebody
I gotta
who's
get that
real
clearance, 'cause it's,
little,
Right now it's a
we're
fire.
having to burn
There's
that
a-
off. We should
In between
either
Cat
get
and I,
exemption
there's
or
a
get
barbed
the
wire
equipment to be
fence.
able to.
Is- I don't know
chip
if that's
limbs.
ours, if that's Pat's, if it's towns, I have no clue.
I don't know,
So
take it out.
Probably needs to
I
be.
mean, we can, I mean, we can, I just didn't know if it was,
No,
I didn't want to,
I
it
would
wasn't
just
mine.
be on
that alley there is a utility easement, but all the utilities, as far as the meter
Yeah.
comes, all
Yeah.
came out.
And throwing stuff in
It's
it,
still
how warm it would
an
get.
easement.
If there would be anything coming off of it, it could be a fire
I'd be
hazard.
worried about
It's,
losing.
Because it
that's
easy
gotta be
gets-
addressed every year because it.
I would have one of the wares out there
That tree room on the
to
south of
operate
ours,
it, link those limbs in.
I think there's
and
a
something
few
catches
holes in
fire,
where
you
it's
say,
supposed
well,
to.
You're talking about the ones in the tiles and stuff?
Yes.
It's
Dawn's,
I've been coming up on most of them.
trees in all and watch.
There's no vegetation on all that stuff. I don't know.
Well, stuff like that should be hauled off. I mean,
Mhm.
it's the only way we can protect ourselves from wildfire, I think, if we're it actually erupting in town, you know what I mean? They say embers can travel up to a mile. Well, we don't need that little ember to land in between you two houses in that alley and burn everything up.
Stuart, as far as your trimmings from the park and stuff,
Yeah.
you may talk to McMurphy or where do you go?
He needs
Or
some pickle juice.
Ferguson.
What if we, as a thought, got the chipper and just had Harbor bring out a dumpster for a good load, and then we pay for that roll-off to go out, and like say, it's already chipped for the dump, for the Northwest Oklahoma dump, and then
Well, they've
That's
got
just
them
done.
You can
low.
sell it to them as erosion control.
They have them low, I think they have them low roll-offs. They're only about this tall.
yeah, that
then
residents
we-
can.
That would be perfect for shipping into.
Probably don't do
So
something
do we
like
need
that
to talk to
take care
Kennedy
of.
then about that?
Can I not borrow you in their chipper?
Yeah, I'll talk to somebody over there. I guess it'd be Troy I'd talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Troy or Randy or one.
Or who, Randy?
Yeah, either one.
I've
of them.
never even said hi to that guy. I probably wouldn't know him if he walked up the door right now. I see him drive by the house every day, and all I know is by his profile.
By the way, we got another candidate for Woods County Commissioner for Smiley seat, Goucher.
Oh, re-entering.
I don't know which
Or-
Goucher it is.
This didn't Smiley take Goucher?
Huh?
Didn't Smiley take Goucher's place, or was it Hamel?
Ammo.
There's been a Goucher in
Yeah,
there.
there was
and
Goucher
before.
before those two.
Yeah, I think
I don't know which
I
one's
think
it
it'd be
was.
Smiley's seat because it's Winoka.
Yeah,
And
I
the
said, I
Goucher guy
think,
was from Winoka.
yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was Smiley. But beat out Goucher.
That should be interesting.
What else did we not answer good enough?
Well, that's it for me.
Okay.
Stuart, do you need to go get something to drink?
No, I got some there.
Okay.
I'm just trying to keep this cramp from
That's what I mean.
making me scream here.
Go drink some pickle juice.
Pickle juice will work great.
Yeah, I don't have any though. I hate to buy a jar of pickles, just a juice.
Pickle juice.
That's all Austin drinks. This
I got a gallon jug of it at the store. I can pour the juice off of it.
I'm serious.
I'll have to
A little bit of it. and
Yeah,
just
I know, I've
crample
used that
stop.
before.
I usually take the juice and I freeze it.
Make a little, yeah.
Make
Donald
Pickle
I had
juice.
the pickle shots.
Donald
I'm
Rutledge gave me
serious.
some kind of
Yeah.
concoction, hell, man, it
It's
tastes
true.
terrible.
They make them. I didn't know they made them.
Yeah. He found them for, I think we got them from Christmas for the kids. So early in Austin, that's what we do.
You know,
Pickle, pickle ices. It does help with cramps.
Yes.
Well, you're up
Austin
next,
does it after
Dr.
every ball game to
You can-
avoid
you can
it.
skip
Every every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You cramp up when you do that.
Or you can just set them here on the table.
Order.
That's terrible.
It is now time. Thank you, Stuart, for your maintenance
You're
report.
welcome.
Now, moving right along to the office
I can
manager.
come in and work next week to talk to you. Cause I gotta find the card anyway.
I don't have a lot. Bonnie and Stuart are going to Ala on Tuesday for the inmate supervision training. We still have a couple of inmates in June. And I called Ridgeview Vet, and they will be here Tuesday, May 29th, from 2 to 4, to get vaccinations for your dog or cat.
May what, 24?
29th.
29, 2 to 4.
Neutering and spaying too, or just vaccination?
Just, I believe just vaccinations. I don't think they're bringing their surgical.
Will they put some cats down?
I think it's just
Is it
vaccinations.
half price for
I was just
seniors?
asking.
You know, it'd be nice if they would fix something, so we could, a million cats right here.
Also, I believe Terry has already done this.
They hold aspirins between their
You
hands.
already did this, correct?
I did.
Do you have it?
I need to get my, go back on there and get the deal so I can send it to you.
Okay, well.
And
Are
that's
you
for
trying to
the
say you
citizen.
didn't
These
finish
are for the
it?
guys because they didn't do it.
Okay,
And if you have a username and password, you might need to share it with them.
I will.
Cindy,
I'll send it to you and you can send it to
the
me.
old Cindy just went to, someone had done this and they said, yes, it is for real. They will send you $600. Isn't that what you told me?
Yes. Out of my room of other municipal clerks and treasurers, only one town had, their board members had completed this recognition program and they did get $600.
Was
Do you
it,
remember
does it
what
work,
town
does
that
it
was?
per-
No, they were sitting behind me.
Or $200 per board member. Do you
I think it's
remember?
$600.
No matter what, it's a
Every
flat
level.
rate fee for every town.
But you have to adopt a trustee handbook also, so. And they've got a sample, I mean, I think we can go in and just tweak it.
Yes, she's all you do is
Fill in the
go in
blank.
and it's a template you fill in, put your town's name in there.
I think we talked about this probably when you were gone last
Yeah, it was in December.
maybe?
Yeah,
It was a long time ago. Because we wondered if you were watching us online.
No.
No? All right.
Do you can make it.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Stuart.
I was enjoying my time at Lynn.
I go to that.
Don shows that
Do my
in
homework.
December, I
Later.
said,
Training.
this would give her letters that you do while you're
I have plenty to do. Believe it or not, she made me do
She's-
dishes every
If
I
day.
she
just
made up a
need to-
username and password, she'll have to get it.
I'll just send it
Are we
to
talking
Dawn
about
and
the
she
new
can
wife?
send it out.
Yeah.
When you do dishes, wow.
When is
You
it
got
gonna be a
to
different
train.
username and password, or is the
You
town?
say that jokingly, but yeah, it's
I think it
true.
says- I think you use, I think you said what, but I'll look.
You need to
All
follow.
you need,
Phil.
because I might
Well, I'm
not.
just
I
one
mostly just-
example. She's got him trained to do dishes.
But, you know, it doesn't take a long time to do it all. And that will
I
pay
think
for
kids
it.
usually help out.
No, okay.
I'll load it so that I load it the way I want it and then they unload it. So I'm kind of picky the way I load it.
That's him.
1,500. Okay, yeah. I'm over a third.
Does that conclude the office manager's report? No.
She's making copies.
Well, I think there's something else that I didn't write down.
That happens to me all the time.
I guess that's it. I guess I need to like put notes in the bills next month
Do we need to watch our
about
videos?
the vet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bet.
And we can put,
Yeah, I put it, wrote it here.
okay. And he'll just-
Where will it be, by the way?
I believe right here.
City Hall?
In the back.
It's cleaned out.
How's it going there, Dawn? It's a
Last time
Zoom
it
here.
was right
It was right
in this
here.
room.
Yeah, okay. Because whenever I was in here, they always had it done with the ambulance barn.
No, it's been done here. They didn't come last year, but like a couple years before that, it
This
was
was last
just
year.
right in here. They're just gonna be here from 2 to 4. So I guess just little strips and stick them in with the statements.
You put exam paper on the table. Set the little dogs on, and give them their shot. Oh,
Grab your dog by the scruff of the neck and give him a shot. Take the money, and you're on your way.
If they put them on the
There's
table,
gonna be
Dawn
cat
would
hair
be
stuck on the
sanitizing
ceiling.
it for 20 minutes.
I'm reporting you to PETA, that's just cruel, how you said grab him by the.
Scruff, it's, their mama's grabbing by the scruff. We
I had a
had,
very important note to write, now I forgot what it was.
That's right.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I think I'm finished.
You sure? Don't be shy. Okay, well, if that concludes the office manager's report, we will move on to C. C, the clerk treasurer's report.
Okay. Last Friday, I was at the municipal treasurer clerk's workshop, certification workshop, and put on by OML. They had OMAG as a sponsor. They had
It's just like others do.
OMAG was there. The code enforcement officers from Sand Springs and from the city of Edmond were there, which I learned a lot on that, on dilapidated buildings and trash cleanup and abatement
All right.
And there's a class that we probably all need to go to. I just need to get on their website and find out when the next closest one is.
Is it in Las Vegas?
I don't think so. I will look. I will put that in the comments as a suggestion.
Probably gonna have it in Woodward.
Anyway. Then Brian Drummond was there on hot topics such as utilities, open records, open meetings. Pam Spinks was there from OMAG. But one thing that OML has started doing, they're kind of piggybacking off of an idea that some other regions are doing, is regional roundtables. The next one that is closest for us, there is one next week, if you wanted to go to one on next Thursday on the 19th in Woodward. It does not give a time. Anyway, there's one in Alva at the other place. That is the name of the restaurant. On May 4th. That municipalities, board members, everything can come and we just discuss common challenges, collaborate on projects. It is a round table for your chance to share best practices and stuff like that. I would suggest possibly going to one and seeing if it is worth our time. And then they're hoping to do this possibly quarterly, if not twice a year.
I did forward you an email about the round table.
Now that video I did.
Is that something the mayor just needs to go
Or at
represent
least
the
I
town?
told
for?
us.
I think so.
What was that, Vice Mayor?
And it does say here for more details, go to oml.org.
Lynn probably wants us to go to the one in Alva, so there's
Yeah,
a
I've
photo
traveled
up
so
there.
far.
Right. So anyway, that is coming up. You can go to Johnny's Charcoal Broiler in Oklahoma City, May 9th, or you can go out to Diamond to Honey's, June 11th. Choice. Anyway,
Pennies?
Honey's
I don't think
with
that's appropriate for this board.
HUNNY.
He's going to.
Anyway. It's not bad. I did, like I say, learn a few things, like rates must equal the cost of production plus maintenance services. You can condemn a property if people are not paying their bills. If it is a vacant property, you can condemn it.
So it doesn't have
And-
to be structurally unsound?
Uh-uh.
Because I know it doesn't have to do with whether it looks good or not, it has to be structurally.
That don't apply anymore.
And sometimes it does not. Depends on the situation. You can terminate services even if kids are present in the house. If you do so, then you do have the responsibility, if they continue to live there without paying their bill, to possibly notify DHS of unlivable circumstances. And then you've done your job, you've notified DHS, your part's done. So you don't have to continue
Gas in the wintertime.
gas or water in the wintertime. The only thing with that is, if you have, which we do, unified billing, which means all of our utilities are on one bill, you would need to state, if they came in and made partial payment, what was paid first. Like some towns, he used an example, like some towns have like a $5 ambulance fee. They have their sewer, then they have their trash, and then they have water's less, and then, gas and then electricity. There's one town that had all three utilities, gas, water, and electricity. Well, you start with the least amount and you work your way up, and then that way what they pay you covers the ambulance fee, it covers the sewer, it covers their trash, and then that eats up their bill, and then you have the right to shut off their unpaid utility portions. One thing we would have to do if we wanted to install that is we would need to revamp our payment ordinance to state what gets paid first on our bills. Which in our case, it would be sewer, and then it would be trash, and then more likely water, and then gas.
And all that is done in an effort to allow you to be able to terminate
Service for
Service.
unpaid bills. Yes.
on
any and everybody. And this came from the attorney, Brian Drummond, who's always at all these, he comes to all the OML.
But otherwise in unified billing, unless all that's stated out, are you not allowed to terminate services?
If they pay part of it, what are you applying it to? Are you gonna shut their water off, are you gonna shut their gas off? Do you have the right to shut both? I mean, if they don't pay anything, you have the right to shut both of them off. But if they come in and their bill's $300 and they're like, I have $100, are you gonna apply it to the gas and make that less and turn their water off? Or are you gonna apply it to the water and not apply it to the gas to where it has to be stated in order for you to truly shut them off? We would have to state what we're going to turn off first.
And we were kind of worried about when somebody didn't pay their bill, not turning off their gas because they had children. They still need to heat their house. We shut off the water.
But now we know.
But the way she's describing it, unless I'm being obtuse about it, is that you're gonna shut their gas off, or if we did electricity, it's gonna be the big ticket item.
It's
They're
gonna
still
be
gonna
big
get their
ticket item.
EMT and their library
It's
fee and
just
all
like
the
a
little stuff.
Bank, you go to the bank, they're gonna pay your $2 bill to get your pop down at the corner and your $5 tank of gas that you're able to squirt in. They're gonna pay those before they pay your mortgage and your car payment, because then that way they're only charging you 2 NSF fees versus 4 NSF fees for your benefit. So I mean, that's how you have to kind of think about it. It's like you've got to figure out what's going to absorb their payment.
I think it really protects your employees to have an orderly, written
Yes.
out thing,
That
so
way.
that they don't get yelled at for making the decision. They can just like.
Yeah, the
You're
decision's
right,
made by the board
it
at
would
this
have
point
to
in
be
time.
made, but once you made it, you can't,
You can't
you
vary.
cannot vary from it. I
Well,
mean,
they
it would
would
leave
say, well,
everybody.
why'd you shut my gas off? And we'd say, well, wait a minute, we still give you your sewer and dumpster because you paid that portion, but you haven't hit the cap to
You
get
sent
into
your
the
trash
gas.
out.
Yeah, but you say if it's written and passed by the board,
They can't.
you don't have to explain it, it's the law.
Or did you say that they could give you an option? Say, I want to pay my water, go ahead and lay my gas off, or no?
That would be a mess.
You would have to, it would be hard for our
It'd be
billing
more work
system
for
to keep
you.
track of.
Yeah, it would be having somebody come in and go over it and sign what they wanted turned off first. It would be an absolute nightmare.
Well, I
It
don't
really
think
would.
I think
that
that
option
eliminates
is
that.
there.
No, I said it
You're
eliminates
talking
the
about
option. Yeah, it's this,
a
this,
dollar
and this, and
amount.
that's done. As soon as your $100 is absorbed,
I don't know, that just seems like a way to turn people's, depending on the time of the year, either their gas or water off sooner, even if they're making partial payments.
there's always that, you can always work with them like we always do, but this would be the step to get them in the door to make that payment arrangement and make the work. I mean, if they're gonna come in here and help us, okay. If they're gonna sit at home and Stuart goes and shuts their meter off, they go and turn it on to take a shower before they come down here to pay their bill,
And there's a difference between
I call
people
on that.
who can't pay their bills and people who just don't.
Yeah.
There's a difference,
But we have the power now to turn them off anyway.
yes.
And if we had that listed out in unified billing, we would still have the power to turn them off.
I think the main thing that you mentioned to me the other day was we were worried about turning people's gas off in the wintertime because they had kids.
Mhm.
And we found out that we can.
You just have to, I mean, if they haven't come in within 3 to 5 days and it's still cold and they don't have gas, you would have the obligation of just notifying DHS that there are children in a house with utilities shut off in 20-degree weather.
And then I guess somebody in the meeting probably asked the logical question, how do you know if there's minors in the house? It seems like that would open up liability.
But something like this would take all that away from us.
Well, whether or not there are minors in the house.
That's. I mean,
Well,
it
and the
would.
parents are likely to come in and say, hey, I got kids at home and you're
do
freezing
that.
them, you know?
Yeah.
So you're gonna find out from the parents attacking you with
Or
that
if the school
information.
call.
You would hope.
In a town this size, you're pretty much gonna know.
And generally, when those people get that cutoff notice.
Even if they don't have
actually do
kids,
that
you're gonna
cutoff,
know that they're.
They come right in.
Yeah.
So what would be the benefit? I mean, I can see legally, but really overall, what's the benefit over what we're doing right now to do that?
Protecting the town.
We protect, yes, it kind of protects
Town
Stuart and
employees.
Don, says, this is what the board has said, that we, you know, we can keep this on, we can keep picking up stuff, keep doing this part of it. We've got legal coverage saying we'll keep this, because we don't have, we can continue to do certain utilities without having to do one or the other. And like Pioneer sends their bill out. You pay the minimum of this and you can keep your long distance, but if you don't pay the full bill, we're shutting your TV off and we're gonna shut your internet off, but you have to pay your long distance in order to keep it. That's written at the bottom of their bill, every single one of them.
So we can pretty much just write it up how we want it.
You write it up in an ordinance and it's done, doesn't have to be put on there.
But it seems like the way that that dictates it, it's in reverse order. To me, water would be most important. Depending on the time of the year, gas would be most important.
Yeah, but then they
I
would
could
just,
give a rip less about my poly card or my ambulance fund or anything.
right, and so they may not ever pay that.
Well, in a city, the most important is sewage. I mean, let's face it, because that's,
We can't shut their sewer valve.
I know, but that's what she was saying, needs to be paid first. And trash, I mean, if that's not paid as a community, it starts to build
But
up.
nobody's ever come in here and said, you turned my trash off.
No, they just
No.
put it in front of their neighbor's house.
Exactly.
I've heard
I'm
that.
just letting learn, think about it.
But that's,
Discuss
in my
this
opinion,
all the
that's how I'm understanding it, that's how they're looking at it as a society. If you don't pay your sewage or your trash, I know nobody's gonna come in here and say, hey, you shut my trash off, of course, but that's the first thing that builds up in a community, that's the worst thing. Not just as an individual.
Can't think about that for a while.
I'm not saying that's correct, I'm just saying
Takes
that's
time.
how, that's kind
Go
of,
on, what else?
I have to read it.
that's just kind of like
Too.
the idea of the greater good. I mean, I'm sure you've heard that, that's kind of what it's going towards.
This is not the Middle Ages when we throw our bed out.
It's exactly, I mean,
gutters.
that's,
Just something to think
Just
about.
something to think
I mean, we
I
can,
mean,
we
Like I
can
said,
look
we
into
don't
it.
You're
have to do
targeting
anything.
you're targeting
just
the big
telling
ticket
you-
items, which is what by,
Just telling you right
The
now,
system now
unified
would already
billing,
do.
we cannot terminate one utility if another is paid. On unified billing, they come in here and they pay part of that water bill, we can't turn either one of them off.
they could come down and put 1 cent and you cannot turn it off. That's just
Exactly.
what the steps are for.
Really?
That's, yes. Because we have unified billing, we'd have to send out separate bills for gas, for water, for trash and sewer. In order to avoid not shutting them off, or to not avoid not being able to shut them off.
so despite what our ordinance says, I guess this is state that somebody could come in and pay us a nickel a month and have a $50,000 water bill and we wouldn't be able to turn them off.
No, but we can use a collection agency to collect it after a certain point in time.
Okay,
It
that
would have
makes
to go,
sense.
you'd have to go to the attorney and say, what's what? I mean, you'd have to, some point in time, you would have to say, enough's enough, you can't just pay me a nickel.
I didn't know that. I thought we had to, I thought the way our ordinance was set up that they had to come in and get on a payment plan that would pay it off like in 12
Our
months or
ordinance
24
doesn't have anything
months.
about a
Yeah, we
payment
don't-
plan in it.
There's-
We're just
actually, there's a-
offering that as a
There's a sign
blessing.
up in that window saying we don't have to
That's right.
offer.
We're just offering that as a goodwill gesture blessing. Here you go, we will work with you because we want you to be able to live here.
Well, apparently
Came in and
legally,
talked to us.
we don't,
You don't have to.
no, they don't have to work with us more than a penny a month.
Is that the way the ordinance is worded?
Ordinance doesn't have anything in there about it. Our ordinance doesn't have anything about any of this.
Because I was kind of under the impression that,
This came after.
but there is
freedom.
an ordinance about paying your bill and shutting off, and I was kind of under the impression that it actually needed to be paid in full every month, or we can shut you off.
And our
But the
ordinance,
government
and our
said
ordinance may trump, I mean, a municipality can make more strict or stricter laws than the state can go by.
And you can't go the other way.
We can't go the other way. We can't say, but
Okay,
we
now,
can,
You can't override the state.
can't override the state, but you can make it stricter. So this may be something that we need to ask the attorney for sure before we did anything, either way, what he recommends and what other, see if other municipalities around the area do this. Cause I know like, well, I don't know, cause Moreland just changed, cause they had separate electric from, theirs is like, gas is separate because it comes from ONG. Electric was separate, used to come from Western Farmers. Moreland just changed their electric company, I don't know.
They
why.
did?
Yeah. And then they have, the city of Moreland has water, sewer, and trash.
It's like right next door to them.
That.
It is.
There's an industry in that town.
So, I don't know.
So we need to ask the attorney along with the zoning question about unified billing, get some information on that.
And then here's ground rules for public nuisance, dilapidation, and administrative hearings. Like if we want to identify a dilapidated building, determine the reason why it is dilapidated according to your local ordinance or state statute. You can select from one or more of the following: state of decay or partial ruin, uninhabitable due to the structural condition of the building, it's been vacant and unsecured building at least 3 times within the last 12 months, it's been boarded and secured as vacant more than 18 consecutive months, and has been declared by your city council or town trustees to be a public nuisance. And then there's just a timeline
Carte
of,
blanche, isn't it?
there's just a timeline of certified mailings, notifications, contractor come out, demolish it, get the bill, put the lien on.
I would love to make a copy of that.
You can
Take with me.
Yeah.
Harry Allen's got some buildings that need to do that too.
We really need to work real hard on getting some of
And those
that
are
done.
front and back
Whatever.
on. Those are front and
You
back.
know, you could always scan and email it to me since you, like, to make sure that we don't overuse our paper resources.
I want to make sure you're going to read it.
You can just inconvenience 40 trillion electrons instead.
And then, OMAG, Pam Spinks, she does, like HR issues with OMAG and talks about, she has classes for supervisors and how to deal with other people and what supervisors can and can't do, and it's different things like that if we ever need their assistance.
Vice Mayor.
All value-added services are offered free of charge to our plan members, and here are all of the other things they do. They have municipal natural gas equipment remediation grants available, safety equipment matching grants available. I think we might want to look at that if we're gonna buy an $8,000 thingy. Sniffer. Sewer blockage, kind of like the company that we had come out to big sections of our town over 3 years. They cleaned it up.
Yep.
They have a sewer blockage program. Human resources, they do have law enforcement. And then they have the scholarships to the municipal league annual conference that they have that I recommended 1 to 2 of you guys and possibly myself attend at least once. I talked to other municipalities and they said that it was a really good.
That woke
Great
you up.
session.
You want to repeat that? What is it that we all need to attend?
the OMAG annual
Like one of
conference.
us, right?
But anyway,
Did they mention anything about OMAG provided health insurance?
no. Unless it's part of HR. But it's the review of personnel handbooks and policies, review of potential adverse personnel actions. Just some things that. Free online training related to human resources and management topics, employee productivity, and grant writing. So,
It was sent from OMAG. That's them, and it's called Oklahoma Public Employees Health and Wellness.
I bet it is HR.
probably part of that.
The other day you asked me about health plan coverage. OMAG and a number of other municipal governments use the Oklahoma Public Employees Health and Wellness Program. They're basically the OMAG for health insurance.
Yeah, they cover only municipalities. They don't do school, because like school has one that just covers schools. And OMAG, like even their insurance, which we have our auto liability and all of that, just covers municipalities in Oklahoma. Besides, they don't cover Oklahoma City, they don't cover Tulsa, but all the small towns. They're 100% small towns. Anyway. She talked about how emotionally intelligent people handle toxic people. It was really very interesting. I could see it in
Did you say emotionally unintelligent?
emotionally intelligent people handle toxic people. Basically, when the toxic people come up to you, you just need to stand there and start blinking and don't react to
I want a
them.
copy of
I
it.
always tell them Jesus loves them. Because it's the truth.
And it's like, you don't react, they don't know how to react to you not reacting. You ask them to come back to you with a solution that you will discuss later.
I
That you will
haven't
not
seen
deal with
any of
them.
the people.
I know.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I've seen several. But anyway, but yes, she had, it's like, don't take the bait. Because cutting people out of your life doesn't mean you hate them. It simply means you respect yourself. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life.
It's true.
Did you go to self-help class or the?
No, the last hour was this to kind of bring us back from the audit lady that was so boring.
Bueller. Bueller.
It was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
We
like,
didn't
you
have
know,
anything upbeat like that.
basically, it's so
Yeah, we
nice when
did.
toxic people
When
stop
Shay had
talking to
emergency
you. It's
call
like
for
the
fire.
trash took itself
That
out.
was fun.
That's another one of my favorites.
Hilarious.
But anyway, you can always look
Made
at them
my
and
day.
say, not my circus, not my monkeys. And
Can I put all this stuff up on my little board there?
I don't care.
It can be my saying of the day. Each day I can put one.
No, so when somebody comes in, you can go, hold on.
But how emotionally intelligent people handle toxic people is it's an actual article that I went and I printed out. And it's a really good read. And I can't remember who it's written by, but it's,
Would you like a copy to put in the paper?
I might. That's pretty cool.
so.
Where'd you find it?
I just
Keep a little
Googled how
hostility out of the
emotionally
newsroom,
intelligent
maybe.
people
Yeah.
handle toxic people. I Googled that and it brought up the author and like his book, Intelligence 2.0 or something like that. It's really, really good.
I think the article Don wants to put up in here, especially for the pet deal coming up, is the one you put in the paper, a repeat, and it was how to give a cat a shot.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember reading anything, so I got home and Brett had a copy. I sent this out, you need to read this.
You
It's-
cannot read it without falling on the floor laughing. Yeah, I
I
had
said I
tears.
started reading it and I almost fell off my chair. I thought, oh, he's exaggerating. I'll send you the copy. Have you read it?
I read the paper.
You've read
Did
that
you see
article?
that? Give a cat a bath, was it, or something, or
I give the cat a shot.
a shot? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
A pill,
yes.
a pill.
Oh my
Give it a
goodness,
shot,
it's
pill.
funny.
I believe it was on the
A pill,
newsgram.
yes, that's it, a pill.
And
Did you
it's
get it
really
from
well
Freedom
written.
Call?
No, no.
Oh, it's funny.
And I probably
I seem
still have
quite
it in
reserved,
my
but if you
recycle
mess
box.
with those I
You'd
love,
like me to
I
find
will
need
open
to
up
read
a
it.
world of crazy.
The
Make
archives.
Scariest nightmares seem like lollipops and ice cream.
You just think you're done and you
No,
just
it's
keep going. It's just hilarious.
Blackwell.
This is my other favorite. It's like I may seem quiet and reserved, but if you mess with those I love, I will open up a world of crazy that will make your scariest nightmares seem like lollipops and ice cream.
Wow.
We should never have sent her to leave.
That's not
I
bad.
should have gone with
No,
her right
I've
there,
heard
because
way
I
worse than
did
that
that.
from Ryan's wife.
They float a brainwash from
My
that.
daughter,
No, they just
I
gave her
garage
some
slips.
Oh,
She already had it in her.
oh.
Who was that whose wife was real timid? She went to the assertiveness class and she came home and told her husband that she had graduated from this assertiveness class and that she was tired of him and she was leaving.
Oh, great.
So,
Is that a true story?
That's a very true story.
Was that Carrie? Just kidding.
so anyway, I will look and find out what dates those code classes are because I really think with what it's like trash and dilapidated buildings, everything. It's more of a specific timeline and what needs to be done and how we can do it. Code class. I think it would be good to go to.
So it's a roundtable discussion dinner?
That's different.
That's a different thing.
Oh,
The
That's
May
a Chinese.
4th, the May 4th roundtable is, yes, at the other place in Alva. But that'll be calendars.
Is that the name of it or you can't remember the name?
Oh, that's the name of it, the other place. It's where Champs used to be, across from Chippy Trail.
No, it's
it's
not
on
Champs. but it's the
college,
other
isn't it?
place.
Isn't
Oh,
it
yeah,
college?
on the way
Something
to the
south?
hospital.
It's
yeah.
on like
South.
281, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
No, it's not college, yeah.
Oh, and
Silly as name of something, the store,
Yeah.
the restaurant.
two other things I have is a credit application for doing business at the new hardware. We want to be able to have a charge account down there, and if we do, they want to know who can charge.
Would it make your life easier?
Yes.
Okay. I would say any of our maintenance,
So,
I would think any town official,
okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was like.
unless somebody starts abusing it.
Sorry.
And if you need to specify who can't use it.
Everybody but Dawn.
And I gave Pebbles a couple copies for
Okay.
fire and ambulance, so
Thank you.
she is interested in that.
Yes, because I think that would be, she would need to determine who is,
Right.
and that way it's on them, not on anyone here. I get the bill, I verify with the receipts.
Everybody but Dawn at the
Where's
fire
the new
department.
hardware?
Just on the north side of town, just as you came in,
The red,
red building to your left.
when you leave town, the big light will be on. It has a big eagle, right?
Oh, okay.
Big eagle on it.
You're gonna
Yeah.
have to come out and do
Oh, yeah.
coverage.
Freedom Hardware or something
Well,
like that.
probably they're
yes.
gonna have a ribbon cutting or something like that.
But can I have a
We
motion
will
to
have that.
approve?
Something.
I second it.
I
Yeah, quite a bit in
abstain.
that hardware too. Yeah, it's like a little
And I-
miniature Lowe's.
They open, the only problem I have, they open at 8 when I get home from work.
They're closed now. I got the same
And
problem.
that's the only problem I have. I can't.
They're
I
open
can't
till
get in
noon on
there.
Saturdays.
Are
And I
they?
I
forget.
still don't make it to that. so.
No, I don't. I'm running around doing stuff and forget until it's too late.
I like it.
But I'm gonna go up there in the morning.
My
Okay.
wife doesn't like that. It's here. Go in there for a bolt.
They have
come
a
out with
really
like
good
5 tools.
selection.
Another thing is, I want to recommend that the town get a credit card instead of using the debit
Thank you.
card for some purchases. And that way it's not,
Being put out there.
Has more security. and
yes,
it's
it
not
has more
tied
security.
directly to
Yes,
the-
it's not tied to your cash flow, it has more security. And then it enables me to be able, that card can be used for multiple funds. I would just use different checks to pay the amount Because like right now, if the debit card's used to buy valves for the gas system, I've got to pay it out of the general fund and turn around and transfer from the municipal fund in order to make it pay out of for the
'Cause
gas
it's tied to
system.
that, yeah.
So that would
Yeah,
eliminate.
you need credit. It's
Well,
okay.
we need a credit card anyway for any online purchases. You don't want to be using that debit card.
Yeah, I'm in that department, not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
no, yeah, you know that. That's
Really?
dangerous. Oh, yeah.
Do not save
I
your
don't-
debit card information. I don't recommend your credit card information on
I don't
any
know.
websites.
Why don't you send me something like that? All I get's recipes.
Well, they're probably hinting for the store.
Okay, anyway. What is the limit that you would
Quick.
feel
Order.
comfortable with?
Children.
Most municipalities that I deal with on the credit card side of things that we do have are anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000.
It makes no difference to me. Maybe that's a question for the clerk and the maintenance supervisor to have.
I don't think we would ever go over 5 in a month. Like I said, it would be paid off each month. So there wouldn't be any interest, there wouldn't be any penalties, anything like that incurred, so. I just need a motion because in order.
It's gonna be some big sewer lagoon dam leak stopper that we have to rent. The only thing we can pay with is a credit card, and it'll be $5,002 and it won't go through. But 5,000 is probably good.
If you know an expenditure is going to be more than your limit, you're more than welcome to call during business hours for a
You know
temporary
how many times
increase.
I've heard that on
I
the
will
other
not
side of the
handle.
world?
I've done that, it worked.
Mhm. Yeah, you can.
Terry, it's me, I'm at Walmart.
My card not
Apparently
that
my
way.
card for this TV won't go over $150.
Yeah.
That's an
You'd
out of
be
network
amazed
Walmart.
at the phone calls.
So most of the time on the limits, on the 5,000, over 5,000, you're gonna use a check anyway. Unless it's just a massive emergency, which is
Right.
rarely gonna,
Right.
so, yeah, I'd say 5,000.
It's, in my opinion, doesn't matter, but I think that's my point.
Yeah.
Plus this is, but in emergency case, you don't want to run it short. Because I have some companies that need to increase their limit and they don't.
You've got personal checks you can use, don't you?
Oh.
Does the board have an
Something.
expense account credit card, or we'll have to take the $5,000 card if we go to Vegas or whatever for training?
You would have to take the $5,000 card.
Okay.
But cash ATM withdrawals do not work on it, so sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a different amount.
Yeah, no PIN. I mean, you don't need it right now anyway. Cash ATM withdrawals are not allowed due to network issues.
I mean, you can buy a car off the used car lot with a credit card.
After you PO it,
Okay.
and I approve the PO to give to you first. There's kind of that catch-22 right there.
Are we still in your maintenance report?
I'm in my report, not maintenance.
I mean, in your.
Can I have a
clerk-
motion to
I'll make a
approve a
motion.
$5,000 credit card?
Motion.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
I'm gonna abstain in case something happens.
And this is on the credit card?
Credit.
Yeah. I was gonna. The good thing about something like that, if somebody does get it on a credit card, they're gonna, you can get it reversed real quick.
Yeah,
They'll put us
your liabilities.
really locked
Debit
up.
card just comes right out of your account and that's it.
It's basically like using cash. It's hard to, well, you can get it back, but you have to go through a lot of steps, right, Cindy?
I don't-
Yes.
I don't use mine.
Yep.
That was another part of my lovely daytime job.
Have you ever tried to talk to the people at Chase on the phone? See what
You need a
people
card
do
at
not
Bank
wanna-
Central, you talk to us. That's local.
Local credit card?
Hmm?
Our first credit card was through the Freedom State Bank.
Yeah, we used to have credit cards.
But then they started charging us $15 a year.
I don't know
I
anymore.
found
Yeah,
the free one.
Amex?
And the free one where I
It was
actually get
Visa.
points.
It was
On
Visa or
Amazon.
MasterCard.
It was
That's
Visa,
all.
then they switched to
MasterCard,
MasterCard.
yeah.
Started charging.
I'm done.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy.
Sure.
Does that include the treasurer too, or just the clerk?
Oh, I can print off treasurer.
Okay.
You can go ahead and adjourn and do it, and I'll present, then I'll let you notice, and I'll give them to Lynn.
Okay. Thank you. I make a motion to adjourn
I'll second.
at 10:55.
8:55.
Huh?
8:55.
I said,
He said 10, I wrote 10, I was like, wait a minute.
I said yes.
8:50.
It's late.
Okay. You made a motion? I need a
Yes.
second. I have a second.
Second.
Bracken?
Yes.
I made the
Smith?
motion.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yes,
Smith?
yes.
Bueller?
Galindo.
Yep.
Okay, we're adjourned.
Thank goodness.
No kidding.
That was a long meeting.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of stuff covered, so.
Well, call to order the MTA meeting for April 13th.
At
8:56, not 10:56.
Thank you.
Cindy, could you please call roll?
Bracken?
Here.
Smith?
Do I have to stay here?
You can say present.
I'll stay here.
No, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Galindo?
Here. We'll just need to jump stuff.
I kind of missed time at times.
I don't have that anyway.
I was gonna keep mine. I don't really work very well.
You have to go on more graft here.
My sisters.
Hey, Don.
They're
Is there a
eating
pen
out.
in one of those drawers?
Okay?
Thank you.
Everyone present?
Yes, all present.
Line item 3, discussion action on past meeting minutes from March 14th. Has everyone had a chance to review the past meeting minutes?
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And I second it.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, fine.
All three or just the first one?
That one and the top one. Bracken?
Yes.
Didn't have the same docket. Yes.
Galindo?
Yes.
Lynn has not died down.
Yes.
Nope.
On item 4, discussion action on POs for the MTA funds. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from the March 14th meeting?
No, you just did that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted. Stupid phone.
I was like, there didn't have a motion for that one unless I'm like,
No, that's okay. I'm already on it.
You guys have a lot of things to sign.
Everyone review, okay.
I didn't grab one.
Can I get a motion
I'll make a motion.
to approve the POs for the MTA?
Second.
I second it.
I don't make you think of the Kingston Trio every time you hear the MTA.
Metropolitan Transit Authority.
Bracken?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Galindo?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Are you ready to shut the light off, Dawn? Is that what you're ready to do?
That's very friends aren't full now.
Line item number 5. Can I get a motion for adjournment?
Motion.
At
Hold on.
There's that phone.
8:59.